3, Canto 2, Chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 25. Athapi medhyangamanukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhanaha yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nrapatim sadhu prashaha atha vidheyangamanonukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhana yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nrapatim sadhu prashtaha atha vidheyangamanonukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhana yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nrapatim sadhu prashta atha vidheyangamanonukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhana yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nrapatim sadhu prashta atha vidheyangamanonukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhana yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nrapatim sadhu prashta atha therefore abhideyahi please explain anga o Sutta Goswami manaha mind anukulam favorable to our mentality prabhashase You do speak. Bhagavata, the great devotee. Pradhanaha, the chief. Yat aha, what he spoke. Vayyasakihi, Shukadeva Goswami. Atmavidya, transcendental knowledge. Visharadaha, expert. Nrapatim, unto the king. Sadhu, very good. Prishtaha, being asked. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Sutta Goswami, your words are pleasing to our minds. Please, therefore, explain this to us as it was spoken by the great devotee Shukadeva Goswami, who is very expert in the transcendental knowledge and who spoke to Maharaj Parikshit upon being asked. Purport. Knowledge explained by the previous Acharya, like a Shukadeva Goswami, and followed by the next, like a Sutta Goswami, is always powerful transcendental knowledge, and it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Pure Devotional Service, the Change in Heart. Omagyanadimirandasya gyananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Adadanasya Tranam Dante Ridam Yache Puna Puna Srimadarupa Padam Pujo Isyam Mama Janmani Janmani Pandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamalam Shri Guru Na Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varjanazayatam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamcha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Atha vidheyanga manonukulam prabhashase bhagavata pradhanaha. Yada havaya sakiratma vidya visharado nripatim sadhaprishta. O Sutta Goswami, your words are pleasing to our minds. Please, therefore, explain this to us as it was spoken by the great devotee Shukadeva Goswami, who is very expert in transcendental knowledge and who spoke to Maharaj Parikshit upon being asked. So these words explain about how one should get a knowledge about Srimad Bhagavatam And what is the proper process for that? And who can explain about Srimad Bhagavatam? That's more important. Because there are Bhagavad reciters, professionally they do it, just to make money out of that. Not to convey the proper purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here he says that Athabidheyanga manonukulam. First of all, mano anukulam. It should engage our mind properly for the reception of the recitation of Lord's wonderful activity. By hearing that, our mind should become favorable to render devotional service to them. Further, it says that bhashase prabhashase bhagavata prabhana. And it was spoken by whom? Bhagavata pradhana. Bhagavata has two meanings. One is book Bhagavat, and second is person Bhagavat. So who is person Bhagavat? Prabhupada, when he translates about Bhagavata Pradhana, he says that a great devotee, and Pradhana means chief, he is chief among Bhagavata Vyakti. And who is that? Vaiyasakihi, that is son of Vyasadeva, who is Shukadeva Goswami. Oh, why don't you come and sit here? Anand Prabhu, come and sit on the mat. Why are you sitting on the floor? Come. An adjective that they have used for Vaiyasaki, Shukadeva Goswami, is Bhagavata Pradhana. And Prabhupada says that who is very expert in a transcendental knowledge. And when he has spoken that knowledge? When he was asked for. Visharado Nrupatim Sadhu Prishtaha. Sadhu means who? The person who has a sublime attitude and heart. And who was having that? Parikshit Maharaj. Because he was asking about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. And that's why, who was narrating? The person who is expert in transcendental knowledge. And that is Shukadeva Goswami. And Prabhupada says in his purport that knowledge explained by the previous acharyas like Shukadeva Goswami and followed by the next like Sutta Goswami is always powerful transcendental knowledge. And it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. Srila Sanatana Goswami, he says that one should not hear even the powerful Lord's glories, His pastimes, and His holy name, even though it is so powerful that it can nullify or destroy all the sins and reactions of the sinful activity. But it is spoken by the professional reciters of the person who is not a devotee of the Lord. Then it is not useful. And then he quotes from Padma Purana that Avaishnava Mukhat Gira Puta Harikatham Gatam Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam Sarpochishta Yathapaya. Ki Avaishnava Mukhat Gira. So let's see who is a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava means a person, he may be seeker of transcendental knowledge. He may be practicing some sort of a spiritual life or spirituality in his life. But if he is not initiated in Vaishnava Parampara, then he is considered as a Vaishnava. Then what are these paramparas which are authorized in this particular age of Kali, where we have to take shelter? That has also explained in Padma Purana. Lord Shiva, when he explains it to his wife, he says that Sampradaya vihinaste mantraste nishpalamataha athakalo bhavishanti chatvara sampradaya. He says that Sampradaya vihinate mantraste nishpalamataha. You may get any mantra from anyone and you keep chanting it. It will not have an effect. Why? Because it is not from the proper sampradaya. Nishphalamata. He said it is useless. It will not bear any fruits if you do your sadhana by getting that mantra and chanting also. Athakalo bhavishanti. And that's why in the age of Akali, they have given 4 sampradayas. Brahma, Rudra, Shri, Kumar. These 4 sampradayas, they have recommended to become a Vaishnava in the age of Kali. Whoever takes initiation from these authorized 4 sampradayas, then he is considered as a Vaishnava. There is a wonderful explanation in scripture that whoever worships Vishnu is known as a Vaishnava. But specifically in the age of Kali, if someone worships Lord Vishnu or his any other expansions after taking initiation from one of the acharyas from these 4 sampradayas, he is considered as a Vaishnava. So Brahma Sampradaya means the sampradaya which starts from Lord Brahma, because Lord has given this knowledge directly to these 4 personalities. Brahma, who is the second progenitor of this world, or second creator, who has done all this. Visarga. Sarga is done by the Lord, Visarga is done by the Brahma. Then Rudra, Lord Sadashiv, he was authorized to give this knowledge. And that's why it is called as Lord Shiva is the storekeeper of Lord's love. Krishna Prema Bhandari. Bhandari means storekeeper. So Lord Shiva can give you love of God. And from him comes the Rudra Sampradaya. Then Shri Sampradaya. So Shri Sampradaya comes from Lakshmi. Mother Lakshmi, who was asked by the Lord to preach about this gospel of love of God. So she started this Shri Sampradaya. Then Kumar Sampradaya, the Chatush Kumaras, they have started with Sampradaya, which is known as the Kumar Sampradaya. And in this age of Kali, there are 4 prominent acharyas who have spoken about this wonderful knowledge. In a Brahma Sampradaya, very prominent acharya in this age of Kali is Madhvacharya, who has spoke about the Dvaitavad, duality. Jiva and Supreme Personality of a Godhead. They are totally different. They are not one. Then, in this Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya comes, and from Madhvacharya's disciples, from Lakshmipati Tirtha, Ishwarapuri got initiated, and from Ishwarapuri, Lord Chaitanya, and like that, this Gaudiya Sampradaya comes under the Madhvacharya Sampradaya, which is known as a Brahma Sampradaya. So Rudra Sampradaya, the prominent acharya of this Sampradaya is Vishnu Swami. And most amazing thing, all 4 acharyas, they are born from South India. And that's from Andhra. Only one, Andhra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So, Rudra Swami, Vishnu Swami, he was from Andhra Pradesh. He was a very powerful acharya. There are three Rudra Swamis in his sampradaya. The first one who came, he gave a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, which is known as the Sarvajna Sutta. And he propagated about Shuddha Advaita. No, Kevala Advaita. He gave a Kevala Advaita, which explains that there are some similarities in between Jiva and Supreme Personality of the Godhead. But they are distinct. They are not one. Then came Srimad Ramanujacharya. And he spoke about Kevala Advaita. No, Shuddha Advaita. He spoke about Shuddha Advaita. And Rudra Swami gave a Kevala Advaita. So when Ramanujacharya came, that time there was a prominence of Mayavadi schools, like Lord Shiva, who came as a Shankaracharya. He just thrown out all the Buddhist philosophers from India. He dragged them out. But what he was preaching, that was again Prachanna Bauddha Siddhanta, means covered Buddhism. And to destroy that covered Buddhism, Lord has sent these four devotees: Vishnu Swami, Ramanujacharya, then Madhvacharya, and Nimbarkacharya. So Nimbarkacharya is from a Kumar Sampradaya. So whoever takes knowledge and get connected with the Lordship through this paramparas is considered as a Vaishnava. Again, this prominent acharyas, there are some prominent acharya after them. Like after Vishnu Swami, for a long period there was no acharya who was so prominent about preaching the philosophy of Rudra Sampradaya. Then came a Vallabhacharya. And Vallabhacharya, he has established this Raganuga Bhakti. So you can see most of the Gujaratis and Marwadis, devotees from the Rajasthan and Gujarat, they follow this sampradaya. Then among Ramanujacharyas, after Ramanujacharya came a very prominent acharya is Vedikan, Mahadeshika. Because every prominent acharya disappears after some long gap. There is always some discrepancy in his philosophy. People, they manipulate few things. To correct that and re-establish the original Siddhanta, every time Lord sends one more person. So Vedanta Mahadeshikan, he came in Ramanujacharya Sampradaya or Sri Sampradaya. In Madhva Sampradaya, after like a 2-3 generation, Lord Madhvacharya's Siddhanta was very difficult to understand the followers of Madhvacharya. So when that time, then one more prominent acharya came, and his name was Jayadeva. He was from Pandharpur. Around 40 kilometers from there is one place known as Mangalveda. And he was like a prince of that area. He got attracted to one of his uncle who was taken in sannyas from one of the disciples of Madhvacharya. And he dedicated his life. And he is known as a Tikacharya because he has given a commentaries on Madhvacharya's Siddhanta, which has become very lucid and comfortable to understand for his followers. His Nyaya Sutra is very prominent because whoever takes sannyas in Madhva Sampradaya, his Jnana Sudha or Nyaya Sutra, it's very important for them to understand. So in that same disciplic succession, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. And he took two principles from each sampradaya. And he established this Gaudiya Sampradaya. In Kumar Sampradaya, there was a prominent Acharya who is known as the Nimbarka Acharya. He also born in Andhra Pradesh. And then he shifted to Vrindavan. He performed his bhajan at Govardhan. There is one place known as Nimga still. There they have an ashram of Nimbarka Acharya. From them also Lord Chaitanya took two principles. One is like Srimati Radharani is topmost devotee. Because other three sampradayas, they don't give that prominence to Srimati Radharani. Like a Sri Sampradaya, they give prominence to Lord Vishnu himself and his consort as Mother Lakshmi. Madhva Sampradaya, they give prominence to Rukmini and Satyabhama. And Vallabhacharya Sampradaya, they worship Lord in the baby form. So there is no question of consort. Then Kumar Sampradaya, they give more prominence to Srimati Radharani. For them, their logo is like Shri Radha Sarveshwari Jayate. As other sampradayas, they glorify Lord Krishna, they glorify Srimati Radharani. Very, very important. And love of gopis for Lord Krishna is the topmost. Vrajavadhu. Vrajavadhu means gopis. And if someone has to qualify himself to eternally take shelter of their lordship, then he has to take shelter of gopis. That is the two principle that Lord Chaitanya has taken it from Kumar Sampradaya. Then from Rudra Sampradaya or Vallabha Sampradaya, which is known as prominently today, from he has taken Raganuga Bhakti and Sharanagati, these two principles, complete surrender and to love their lordship as their son or parental love. Then from Madhva Sampradaya, he took two principles. Mayavad Khandan and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And from Sri Sampradaya, he took two principles. One is service to Vaishnavas. It's very prominent. And second thing, that deity worship. Worship of their lordship. As per the Agama Shastra. So that he has taken it from Sri Sampradaya. And all together with 8 principles, this Madhva, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya has come. Or Chaitanya has started this Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it is not different from many other Sampradayas, and we don't condemn them. Because they are our Acharyas who has given us the way through which we can attain the lotus feet of their lordship. All they say that Gaudiya Sampradaya is topmost in Madhurya Rasa, because that has not explained by any other Acharya. If you read Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, where Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he explained how all these Acharya, they came to Navadvip, performed their austerities or tapasya in different places at Navadvip. And Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared to them. And he gave them darshan and told them that prominently you should preach about this particular science in your particular region. And when I will come, altogether I will take these principal siddhantas from you. And I will establish new sampradaya, which will propagate this knowledge throughout the world. Because other 3 acharyas, none of them has gone out of India for preaching. It has started by Gaudiya Sampradaya. So there are quite few prominent acharyas in Gaudiya Sampradaya, like Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, who were considered as the topmost scholars of their era. Then Shiva Goswami. Till today, he is considered one of the greatest acharya, because whoever wants to get done any higher studies in Sanskrit or has to get a doctorate, he has to go through the literature written by Jiva Goswami. The most important characteristics of his literatures is that, like a Sanskrit language, you can take out any meanings that you want. You can twist it out, because in Sanskrit, words have so many meanings. But the words that Shiva Goswami he has used in his Sandarbhas, like a Bhakti Sandarbha, Bhagavata Sandarbha, no one can squeeze them out and take a different meaning, because he has used such a word that any way you want to twist it, you will get the same meaning. That's the glory of his literature. That's why even today, whoever wants to do the doctorates, he has to go through that. Then after Jiva Goswami, there was Srinivas Acharya, Shyamanand Pandit, and Narottam Das Thakur. After him, there was a prominent acharya who is known as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Those days he used to be considered as one of the authority for Vaishnava Sampradaya. He wrote his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. There are very few who has wrote commentary on Bhagavatam, because it is none other than the Vedanta Sutra. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. See how these Sampradayas, they are considered as authentic. If one of the acharyas from that Sampradaya, he has given commentary on a Vedanta Sutra, then that Sampradaya is considered as authentic. Otherwise, some person has come, he has started something and gone. But as long as he has not given a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, they are not considered as a prominent or authority. So same with the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Till the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, no one has given commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, on a Vedanta Sutra. Vallabhacharya has given a commentary on a Vedanta Sutra, and even Vishnu Swami also has given. Then in Kumar Sampradaya, Nimbarka Swami also given, and one of their acharya, I forgot his name, he also has given a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. In Sri Sampradaya, Sri Bhashya has given by Ramanujacharya. Even Mahadeshikan has given. He has written on Vedanta Sutra. Sri Bhashya was given by Ramanujacharya. After him, no one has given, I think.
Not sure about the others, but
because Yamunacharya was before Ramanujacharya. And he never gave. That was his desire, he wanted to. That's why then one by one he opened his one thing. When Ramanuja committed that, I will give. And then he opened. So, Madhvacharya has given his commentary on Vedanta Sutra. But in Gaudiya Sampradaya, no one has given commentary. Then, one Acharya who is known as a Vidyabhushan, Baladev Vidyabhushan, he was not initiated disciple of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, but he was a Shiksha disciple. He was seeking Shiksha from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He gave his Govindabhakta on Vedanta Sutra, and he proved that this is authoritative Sampradaya. And nobody was knowing about them till Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came. Today is the disappearance of His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj, who is the spiritual master of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did a great thing in this modern age. He established this Vaishnava Siddhanta for common man. If we see all other sampradayas, they are restricted up to certain communities they can follow. It was not meant for a general people, meant for general. Like a Madhvacharyas, only the Madhva Brahmins, or who has came from that same dynasty, they are just following that. Ramanujacharyas, like a Sri Sampradaya, go South India, who are from the Brahmin families, they are only following this cult, this Sampradaya. Or if you go to Gujarat and Rajasthan, only certain class of people, Vaishyas or few Brahmanas, they follow this Patra Sampradaya. And Nimbarka Sampradaya, mostly these Vairagi Babas, they follow. Very few Grahasthas or you can see in that Sampradaya. Otherwise, mostly the Babaji or like a Nagas, they follow this Nimbarka Sampradaya because they are very austere. But it was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and they made it available for the common man. And even for the Mlecchas and Yavanas. Because Srimad Bhagavatam itself says that this knowledge can deliver even the Kirat, Andhra, Pulaka, Pulaka, Shaha, Unandra. This knowledge or these glories of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead can purify the people who has taken birth in a dynasties like a Hunas, Andhras, Kiritikas, Nishadas, who are considered as the lower caste. Even they can become the devotees of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for that purpose, he established 64 Gaudiya Matas all over the India. He was the first Acharya who did that. Srimad Ramanujacharya also did, but he went to just 4 particular dhamas like Kedarnath, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Rameshwar. There he established his Gurukuls. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, including these 4 dhamas, all other places wherever Lord has performed his wonderful pastime, he established temples. And if you find all the temples established by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you will see the deities of all prominent acharyas. If you go and visit Jagannath Puri temple, where is the birthplace of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that same place they have made up. There he has established the deities of 4 acharyas: Krishna Swami, Marga Acharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya. And he made prominent these 4 sampradayas in this age of Kali, or the present age. Because people have that so-called material knowledge, consider themselves as very intelligent. And whatever in the scriptures and given by the sampradayas or given by our family tradition, they consider it is like a myth. And people are like a backward. They have not come out of their so-called myth. But that's not the fact. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he proved himself how this knowledge is supreme. He was the first Acharya who boldly challenged Mayavadis. It said that when he used to go to Chennai, because Chennai is a place where it's still considered that the Shankaracharyas from that place, they are very prominent preaching about Mayavada. I forgot there was his name. He was a very prominent. He used to be considered as one of the Acharya who really knows the scripture. One of the Shankaracharya from that place. When they used to hear about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's presence in Chennai, all they used to run away. And it was because if they come, they know that this person is going to smash us. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent his few disciples to Sri Ranga, and he asked them to learn deity worship from them, because in Gaudiya Sampradaya they do deity worship, but in the Madhurya Rasa, that is very high. That is not meant for general mass people. So whatever we worship, even our temples also, Prabhupada says we worship Radha Krishna, considering them as a Lakshmi Narayana, because we are not capable of worshipping them in the mood of which we should worship Srimati Radharani and Krishna. We are not qualified to do that. So that needs the Madhurya Bhava. And that to reach that Madhurya Bhava is very difficult. And for that purpose, to worship their Lordship in the form of Lakshmi Narayana, we took method of worship from Ramanuja Sampradaya. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was born in this world, he has some purpose for which he was called to this material world by his father. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was his father, biological father, he prayed to their Lordship that, "Oh my Lord, I need someone who can assist me to re-establish all these Vedic principles, this all Vedanta Sutras and this knowledge which is essential for the general mass of people." So he prayed, and Lord gave answer to his prayer. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he took birth in his house. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born in Jagannath Puri. There is still one place, and they have established one Gaudiya Mutt there, Chaitanya Gaudiya Mutt. That same place where Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to stay, and there his wife gave birth to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His birth name was Bimala Prasad, because there is a deity of Bimala Devi. After offering prasad to Lord Jagannath, it goes to Bimala Devi, and then she distributes to everyone. So his name, he was named under her name, after her name, that is Bimala Prasad. So when they were staying there, that was actually first Jagannath Rath Yatra for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his life. When the cart came, Jagannath Ratha, he just got stuck in front of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's house, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. And they tried to move it, but they were not able to do that. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked his wife, "Get you a son." They brought him, and they kept him under the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. Then one garland fell upon. Then they took that small child from there and went aside, and immediately that car started. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, very boldly, he preached about the Bhagavata philosophy. Bhagavata Siddhanta is preaching about bhajan and about chopping out the Mayavada. There is a Bhagavata Vidhi, and there is another Vidhi. Another Vidhi contains the worship of Archa Vigrahas, following the different festivals, and so on and so forth. Bhagavata Vidhi means only reading Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting our own rounds, and preaching about Srimad Bhagavatam. He established both the things for the common man. He was the first Acharya who has started giving initiation to low-born people, and he made them Brahmanas by training. And there was a great chaos as it was in Lord Chaitanya's time. When Lord Chaitanya started this Sankirtan movement and started giving this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all the Brahmanas, smart Orthodox Brahmanas that time, they revolt against it. They said, what nonsense you are doing? Vedic mantras are not given to low born. They are not qualified for that. The Vedic mantra is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. But Mahaprabhu, when he gave, how he has given? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. He has given sequence in vice versa. In reverse order he has given. So he said, this is not your Vedic mantra. And somehow or other he shut down the mouths of Brahmanas those days. And openly he has given this mantra. As Ramanuja, all prominent Acharya they did this. In Shrasampradaya, chanting the Ashtakshari mantra, that was not common. Who made it common? Ramanujacharya. When he went to Purna, Goshti Purna, he gave him that mantra. And he said that it is not meant for everyone. And you have to do it your own. And it should not be done publicly. Then he said, what happens if I do it publicly? He said, whoever hears this mantra, he will go to Vaikuntha. What he did, he came out, he went up on the Gopuram. He stood there and he gathered all the people and he, in public, he chanted that mantra. And when Goshtikuna heard that, he became so disturbed. He said, the first and foremost qualification of disciple, you never followed that. The first and foremost quality of a disciple is to follow the instruction of spiritual master. You have not done. You know what will happen now? Yeah. What will happen? He said, you will go to the hell eternally. He said, I am ready. If a one person goes to hell and others get liberation, what's better? I'm ready for that. When Goshti Purna heard that, he offered dandavats to Ramanujacharya. And he said, actually, you are my Guru. Because you have that compassion for all living entities, which is the prominent quality of Acharya. So his Guru became his disciple. So same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established and he gave the holy name to all sort of and all conditions of people. Furthermore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what he did, he expanded that. He sent few of his disciples to Western world. They came, they visited half of the Europe. They went back, they made only 4 disciples and they came back. Then, when he met first time, he was in Bagh Bazar and Bhaktivedanta Swami or Abhay Babu, Abhay Charan. When he was in a college, with one of his friends, Narendra, he came and he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And while he was offering pranam, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, even he has not seen his face even. And he ordered, you should preach this knowledge to the English-speaking world. And Abhay Charan was perplexed. He said, what is this? I don't know this person. And how he can order me directly that I should do it? And he did it. When time came, he followed the instruction of his spiritual master. And it is said here that knowledge explained by the previous acharyas like a Shukadeva Goswami and followed by the next like a Sutta Goswami is always powerful transcendental knowledge. And it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. And that we can see today. The whole world got exposed to the gospel of Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. If he would have not asked Abhay Babu or Srila Prabhupada that you should go and preach, we would have not been here today. We never would have got a chance to read Srimad Bhagavatam. It was his mercy. And Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he always used to say that I used to feel presence of my spiritual master everywhere, wherever I go. Because it was his mercy through which I was able to. He did so many things. He gave his own commentary on Bhagavatam, he gave his own commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he re-established the standards of Vaishnavism and Bhagavata Dharma for the common man, so that we can come together and discuss about it. He was such a great scholar. When he was a student, the king of Tripura, he appointed him as a teacher for his son. And he was teaching him English, Sanskrit, Bangla. And one nun from London, she was there to teach the British royal standards to that son. Once she wrote a letter to their institute where they used to train nuns. She wrote that, I have seen a person who is a greater British person than all Britishers. The way he did, the way he speak. When he wrote his commentaries on Brahma Samhita and other books, to read that commentaries, even great literary writers, they used to refer dictionary. So you can understand what was the world vocabulary he had. Even today also, it's very difficult to understand what Bangla he has written. Prabhupada sometimes used to say, we used to just sit and hear him, but very difficult for fathom us that what he is speaking about. Because the Bangla words, what he used to use, that is also very of high standard. Very few people can know the meaning of that verse. Once one of his disciples asked him, why don't you come a little bit low standard so that people can understand? He said, no. They should come to our standard, then they will be able to understand the real essence of Bhagavata Siddhanta. And that's what happened. He had disciples, they are like Shrutidharas. Because when he used to sit and give commentary, one person used to quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, a particular verse. And Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur, he used to give his commentary. And when he has to refer some shloka, he will used to just quote that shloka. And one of his disciples, he used to tell from where it is. That was their photographic memory. He had disciples like that. And that's why he was able to create big, massive movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Gaudiya Mutt. He preached about. He was the first and prominent Acharya who got together all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. He and his father, they smashed out all the Upper Sampradayas from Bengal. They re-established the worship of the Lordship. And he used to get them for Vrindavan Yatra or Vrajamandal Parikrama. So it was in 1934 or 32, I think, 32. Prabhupada met his spiritual master third time after his initiation. And there on the bank of Radhakund, he gave a historical instruction to his disciple, Abhay Babu. He said, whenever you get money, print books. And Prabhupada did. Whenever he got money, he printed books and distributed. And we are here because of his books. And this is the month when you can do a book distribution here. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was such a great Acharya. He showed by his own living standards that how one can dedicate his whole life for the preaching, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how the person who has a great dedication and love for the Lord can achieve the lotus feet of their Lordship. There are so many his disciples, by their living of body, we can understand how they got trained properly by their spiritual master. How they got so much absorbed in the path of devotional service. Then there is one more great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. His name is Devananda Pandit Das. Today his disappearance day. If you visit Navadvip, still they have their one place which is known as the Devanand Pandit Gaudiya Mutt. Actually there Devanand Pandit used to stay, and after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur he established one matha there which is known as Devanand Pandit Gaudiya Mutt. And he was a great reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam. When he used to narrate, all the great scholars from Navadvip, because those days the Navadvip was considered as a Vidyanagari. And the Brahmanas from all over the India, they used to come and get trained up in Vedic knowledge. So Devanand Pandit is one of the very prominent scholars of that area. And he was considered an expert person giving narrations on Srimad Bhagavatam. So one day, Srivas Thakur and Mukund Dutt, both they went to his place to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he started narrating, Srivas Thakur, he became so ecstatic, he started showing all the Ashtav Sattvic Vikaras. And that created a little bit disturbance in his narration. So few of the disciples of Devanand Pandit, what they did, they just took Srivas Pandit and left him with the hands and legs, and they throw him out from his ashram. And Devanand Pandit never uttered a single word for that. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prakash Leela at Srivas Thakur's courtyard, today that place is known as the Srivas Angan, he showed his most merciful Mahavadanya form, and he was giving blessings to everyone, whatever they asked for. But for Devanand Pandit, he never looked upon it. He just avoided it. Then they asked, Mahaprabhu, why you are doing this? He's such a great reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu said, just reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, you will never become a great. What makes you great? That to honor other Vaishnavas, to respect other Vaishnavas. And he has offended Srivas Thakur. That's why I am not going to give my mercy to him. So from this we can understand, you may be a very great chanter of holy name, you may chant 64 rounds, you may follow all regular principles, you may read so many books. But if you offend some devotee, Lord will never give you his mercy. Then for Devanand Pandit, his heart got totally shattered. Even personally, he has not offended Srivas Thakur. But he allowed his disciples to do that. He would have stopped them that time. He would have given the real identity of Srivas Thakur to them. But he never did that. He just kept quiet. So even if you keep quiet, and like keeping quiet means you are allowing someone to offend. If someone is offending and you are not restricting that person, then definitely you are the part of that offense. So indirectly that offense he did. And he suffered for that. Then one more thing, when once Vakreshwar Pandit, one of the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was dancing during that 72 hours kirtan at Jagannath Puri during the Rath Yatra. So he was protected by Devanand Pandit. because there was a circle of devotees, they were chanting and dancing with the holy name. And Vakreshwar Pandit is considered as a great dancer. So when he was dancing there, he was protected by Devanand Pandit by pushing the general people back so that they should not create any obstacles for his dance. And when he rendered service in that way to Vakreshwar Pandit, Mahaprabhu pleased with him, and Mahaprabhu bestowed him with his love of God. So the easiest way to attain the love of God is to take shelter of a pure devotee and to serve. So today we have a chance to worship these two great devotees, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada and Devananda Pandit Prabhu. We can pray at their lotus feet that they can bestow their causeless mercy on us so that we can progress in our spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki, Sri Devananda Pandit Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.